On this episode of 8 and 8, we get to hear the story of a third-year Bachelor of Science student who is the owner of a clothing brand called YS. Our guest shares his journey about hustling to launch the brand and how his current degree has helped him in navigating even the business-related things that he has encountered as the owner of a clothing line. We also hear his vision for how he would like to use his current degree to impact the youth and make learning easier for them.
Hi everyone, welcome back to 8 and 8. If you're new to this channel, shout out to you for visiting. Hopefully you will be part of the subscriber family after watching this episode. I am Q, your host for today, and I would like to welcome an amazing guest who is pursuing interests in both arts and the science, Mpho Tshabalala. Hi Mpho.
Hey Q,
Welcome to the show.
thanks for having me.
How are you feeling?
Feeling great, bro. Feeling good.
You
Feeling
look good.
Thank you,
That's
thank
good.
you.
You look good.
I do.
So,
don't I?
is there any song that you were listening to this week, particularly on repeat?
Yeah, it would have to be Endless Hallelujah by Stephanie Gretzinger, Bethel Gang.
Awesome.
Bethel.
Really? I think I went back to just gospels, like
Nah.
Kirk Franklin.
Yo.
I was there. I've just been in the gospels.
Yeah, within the Millennium.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's going to happen is Mpho is going to answer 8 questions in 8 minutes, the usual. Your timer is going to start after I finish reading the first question. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. When and why did you start YS?
All right. So I started YS in 2020, and it happened. It's actually a weird kind of story because it happened October 2020. I was praying, and so I always had this creative thing within me. And I remember praying and I was asking God, like, okay, I was getting a lot of prophetic words at the time about me being creative. And so I just felt like the Holy Spirit was just saying, yeah, this is what you have to do. This is start a brand. So by that time, I didn't really, that's basically just why I started. The 2020 October was when it birthed into my spirit, birthed into my heart, basically.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get the capital to start?
Yeah. Now that's it's not really a tricky story because then I was like, okay, so where am I gonna get the capital once I heard the word? And basically, yeah, God was very much involved in the whole thing. And so what had happened was I was like, God, so what's gonna happen? How am I gonna get the capital? And then he was just like, okay, in December you need to work, right? So I was like, okay, it's October. Is it too late? Is it too early? Like to get employment now. So then I just called my sister and my sister like set up my CV and everything. Not set it up. She just gave me like what to do, what should be there, what shouldn't be there. And yeah, I set up my CV and then I got Indeed.com. Then I just went searching. Then I got a sales consultant job for Hallmark for the holidays. So basically just working for Hallmark at a Checkers. So basically what I do is customers would come in, I'd go to them, pitch products, and yeah, try to get them to buy the stuff. Yeah. And that was a hectic thing because I'm not used to waking up early and it's the holidays. All of my friends are going out, dog. Like, I was rough. But then I did that December, January, February, March. Then school started again. It was nice because COVID made school start later. So then I could earn more money. And then basically that's how I got the capital. Then everything moved from there.
What was the process of starting your clothing brand and making it an officially established business?
Okay, so the process was basically liaising with my aunt because me and my aunt have been talking about starting doing a clothing line together, right? And it all started when she made my matric outfit in 2018. And so I never really wore suits. I wore like traditional African attire with like these like cool pants and whatnot. And then while we were in the process of getting that started, because I knew I didn't want to wear a suit, but I didn't know what I wanted to wear. So then I spoke to my aunt and we put the outfit together. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, why don't we start something? And then that's how it came together as an idea first. And then 2020 I came back to her and I was like, okay, let's make this a thing. So then she was like, okay, cool. This I showed her my designs at the time, and she was like, I could do like the shirts and then the traditional shirts, and then she was like, she knows someone who used to work for her that could do the rest of the catalog for the first line, and that's basically how it started.
Amazing. Are your studies related to this particular interest that you have in fashion? If not, why?
Okay, so I'm doing a BSc in physics, majoring in physics and chem. So they're not related. At least I thought so. They're not related, right? Just putting that flat out to answer the question. But I do think physics helps me a lot in terms of like the business side of things, because in terms of thinking, like you have to think about a lot of things like complex things, making systems work together. Like just thinking about when I'm back home and I'm actually on the ground, like I have to really think about a lot of things at the same time. So basically, like when you're an entrepreneur, you have to do, you see how they're like, oh, okay, there's a CEO, there's a CFO, there's the marketing director. You have to be all of those directors at the same time. So and physics, you have to think about things in a complex way, and it almost in a sense like opens up your mind in a way and makes you think about lots of things at the same time. So you have to really, yeah, I think in that way, for me personally, that's my personal experience. I think physics has helped me think more out of the box. It's like almost like brain gym. So it makes me think more.
Would you be interested in doing something that's business related academically?
Yes, actually. I've been thinking about that for the past 2 or 3 months. And like since I've been tutoring at the department, I was thinking about like maybe starting a tutoring company as well, like similar to Kip McGrath. Do you know about Kip McGrath?
I don't.
Kip McGrath or Master Mats?
I know Master.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, and writing, because I always felt like the textbooks in high school were just too complex, and I would take whatever they gave me and simplify it. So I was thinking maybe writing my own textbook in a sense, and then just a simple version for high school, obviously. But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about for a bit.
Who is your target audience?
For now, my target audience at this time is probably university students. I remember watching, I don't know, an interview by some artist, and he was like, the university like students, basically the campus is whatever happens on the campuses is what's considered as cool by all people. So the high schoolers look at what people are doing in university, and the people who are a bit old and out of touch, they're trying to like see, oh, what's happening. They're like, oh, look at what the college kids are doing, right? So I think that's by targeting that range, the university students, I can basically hit everyone. I think, yeah. The target audience is everyone, but hitting the university students is how I get to everyone.
Right.
So that's the first goal.
Okay. Do you have any customers that are aware of your brand yet?
Yeah, I do. I started a couple of social media pages. It's just been hectic, just school and monitoring those things. But I do definitely have some. I remember speaking to someone who also has his own brand, a colleague of mine from Joburg, and he told me that the best like advertiser is word of mouth. And I've seen that personally. Like I could post on Instagram, like tell people about it digitally, but someone wearing my product somewhere and someone else being able to see it and touch it and feel it for themselves and see the way it fits on that particular person is like way better. And that's how I get most people interested. Because when you see it, you're like, wow, this is real. This is actually cool. Yeah, this is legit. This is legit.
How much do you want to grow your brand? So are you planning on remaining local to South Africa, or do you want to go global?
Local in terms of design. In terms of design and how I never want my designs to lose that Africanness.
Okay.
Yeah. But in terms of like reach to the all the way to the ends of the earth,
So
basically.
which continents, countries have you been thinking of?
I wanna make the transition to basically a luxury brand fashion house. So I'd probably be Europe because that's where most of the luxury brands are. Paris Fashion Week, like all of those things. So it's basically, yeah, Europe is probably once I have like a headquarters in Europe, I'll know that I'm in the headquarters of luxury.
Once you have
Yeah,
not if,
yeah,
once.
yeah. It's just a matter of time, basically. Yeah.
What is the significance of the name YS?
So this is actually a funny story. I wasn't too crazy about the name because my aunt came up with the name and she was like, your style. I always wanted my aunt's name to really stick, but I just liked like the logo with the Y and the S. But my aunt came up with the name basically. And I was like, I want her to be a part of it forever, even though she might not have that much of a role. So the name she came up with, and then I came up with the logo basically.
All right. Your time is up.
Wow.
But you've done
That was
so
quick.
well. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful to just hear about your journey in fashion and business and just these two different spheres of career and passions that you're pursuing. Really, it's an inspiration. So thank you guys for joining us. This is the end of the episode now. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you guys next week. Bye.